have an operations manager. But when I was doing the intake, I would make sure that I would look them in the eyes, the people who were coming in, I would look them in the eyes and explain the rules to them. And when I did that, I hardly had any issues with people. Now I noticed that later on, we started getting more and more towards automated, which I love. I love automation. That's why my business is called Group Home on Autopilot. But one of the things that we automated that probably we should not have is we would send them their lease agreement, which had all the house rules in it. We would send them their lease agreement to sign via Docusign or some other way that they could sign it digitally. And so they would initial on the Docusign that they understood the rules. Now, what do you do when you receive a Docusign? You're not reading all that stuff. You're not reading that stuff. You're just like click, click, next, initial, signature, done. You're not reading it. So that's what they were doing. They would get the thing in their email and they would just check, done. And then they would come into the house and they're loitering in the front. They're smoking cigarettes in the front of the house, putting their cigarette butts all over the front of the house. They're like, hey, you can't leave your cigarette butts in the front. You can only smoke in the back. And they're like, where is that rule posted? That rule is in the document that you signed. Oh, so that's something that depending on, I don't know if it depends on the demographic, because I think anybody and everybody would do this. I would just check it off. I wouldn't read it. So you have to look them in the eyes and explain to them the house rules. That way it's very clear and it's very understood that this is what we tolerate and this is what we don't. When I was sitting down and doing intake with each person and looking them in the eye and explaining to them the house rules and which rules would get them kicked out immediately, I did not have that many problems. I really didn't have that many problems because I looked them right in the eye and told them, these are the house rules. Do you understand this? Signature here. Do you understand that? Signature here. And they were like, okay, I'm not going to violate these house rules because I want to stay here. This is a nice place. So that's something that just take that story and just think about it. If you are doing intake automated, where you're just having people DocuSign something and you're having problems, if you're having problems with house rules being broken, maybe you should take away that DocuSign thing and actually sit down and talk to people and look them in the eye and have them understand the rules. All right, so that was the screening. Okay, clear expectations. So yeah, that goes into that. So setting the standard from day one. You don't want to have any kind of ambiguity at all. Everything needs to be crystal clear. And that's how I was. Everything was crystal clear and it was black and white. This is what we tolerate. This is what we do not tolerate. And then enforcing boundaries. So even if it's a small infraction, most people are inclined to just let that go if it's a small infraction. But small infractions become bigger infractions. So you have to maintain your boundaries. Those boundaries will protect your business and maintain the integrity of your home. If you start slacking and giving people a lot of leeway on things, word travels. The people in the house talk to each other and they'll be like, you know what, she really doesn't care about that rule because she let me do such and such. So then everybody will think that they don't have to follow the rules either. So you have to be a stickler on your house rules. And if there's an infraction, you have to address that infraction, because people are people and people will push the boundaries and try to see how far they can get you to bend. So don't bend on any of your rules. All right, protecting the physical asset.